Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. I've got Betsy with me today. We're a little short on crafters this month, but that's okay. And for our monthly challenge, we decided to use the Crafter's Companion Bella Luna collection from Sheena. And I have to admit, I made my first card and then I was like, yeah, I don't love it. So I ended up making two. So I'll show you both of the cards that I made. And then I'll let you see what Betsy did. So the first one is just, it's like that. And it's just a little tentfold card.
That's pretty.
And it looks better if you put like a little tea light behind it, because this is vellum. That was the idea, was to kind of do a vellum. And I like it, but the little people I think don't show up as well as I would have liked. So I probably should have put another layer of white card or vellum behind the people. Maybe if I did that, let's try it. Maybe they show up a little bit. Not really. So anyway, so that's my first one that I made.
I like it.
But I like my second one more. So let's see if you guys like it too. So it's a small, it's 4x6 gatefold, foldback gatefold. And then when you open it, it's got the little girl, and see, she's kind of like swinging there in free space. And then it's also vellum. So when you've got a light behind it, the moon just really shines. So I like that one a lot better.
I don't even want to show my card.
So I do like that one a lot better. And I love this. I have to say, from this collection, I really do love that stamp. I think it's so much fun. And the paper is so pretty. I thought about putting something on the front, but the papers are just so pretty that I didn't even think you really needed it. So,
no, you didn't. No.
Yeah, so those are my two cards. I like the second one better than the first. So,
well, they're both beautiful.
So Betsy, what did you come up with this month?
I struggled, but this is the one that I came up with.
I love that stamp.
I didn't have the whole collection. I wish I had the male and the female one, because that's what I wanted to use. But I love the Bella Luna papers. I absolutely love the papers. And then when you open up the gatefold, it's got the big moon there. And I chose this side because it's got the little rowboat there, and there's a rowboat, of course, in this one. And I used their sentiments, but their sentiment was to the moon and back, but it didn't have anything to do with, well, what is to the moon and back? So I didn't have, since I'm single, I don't send out love cards. So I didn't have anything to put on there to say, love you to the moon and back. So I wish they had something like that in their collection, but they did not. So I just made a simple gatefold card, nothing elaborate.
Really pretty though.
And that's what I did.
I do love that. Well, one, they have gorgeous papers, and sorry if I'm looking over there, but Betsy's kind of over there for me, so I was trying to see her card but I do love that stamp a lot. It's so pretty, and it's a fun one to color, because the stamps that come with Bella Luna, they're made to go in the circles, in the apertures. Yes. And so they're not real big, so they're pretty easy to color. They color pretty quickly, especially the one that you used, because you've got kind of that background scene with the water and the sky. And so it doesn't take a lot of time, but you can make really pretty cards. So thanks for sharing that.
I just used a regular circle aperture to cut out the backing, and then the one smaller to cut out the one that I colored. So
yeah, no, it's really pretty.
And their papers are so pretty. It was so hard to choose which paper to use.
I know.
It really was.
I know. It's so hard when you look through that paper pad. They're all lovely. And then once you put them on the card, you don't want to cover it up because they're so pretty. I just love it.
I said here, if you see, I love the pattern here. And then I went,
I know.
Wait a minute, I'm going to be covering it up now. Because that's why I chose this particular paper, was I love the pattern to put on each of the 2.5 by 5.5.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
That's the way it goes. But yeah, sometimes it's so hard when you have that really super pretty paper. It's one, I never like to cut into it. And so, because then you trying to on this one, it's a 4x6 card. So I took a 6x12 sheet and trying to decide which piece you want to put where is so hard, because it's just all so pretty. And I didn't want to cut it. But then once you do, then you don't want to put anything over the top of it because it's just so gorgeous. But
right, I agree.
That's the way it goes. Anyway. All right, well, stay tuned for some short videos on how we made each of those 3 cards. And hopefully we'll have Gaz and Christine back with us next month. But Anyway, it's just been a busy summer for everybody, so it's kind of hard. All right, well, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye, guys.
So we're going to start with our main card base. This is a 6x12 sheet of card, and I scored at 2, 4, 8, and 10. My finished card's going to be 4x6. So 2, 4, 8, and 10, and it's 6x12. You can make it any size, but that's what I did. And then you have a foldback gatefold that's 4x6. Okay, so just like that. Then you need a piece of acetate. And this one is 7 inches, and it's scored at 1, 2 1/4, 4 3/4, and 6. Okay, so it's 1 inch by 7, and it's scored at 1 inch, 2 1/4, 4 3/4, and 6. And then you fold it up kind of again to make sort of like a little fold back gatefold. Okay. Then I'm going to take my base card, and I've got a rectangle nesting die, and it's 3x5, and I'm just going to put it right in the center and cut out the back of that card because I want my vellum to show through. So now I've got my fold back gatefold with a hole in the middle, okay, which is exactly what I want. Then I'm going to start by attaching my vellum on there. And see, this is why I wanted the hole in the middle, so you could see through that vellum. Because I just think the vellum looks really pretty when you can see through it, okay? And this is 4x6, or just a little bit short of 4x6. And then I am going to go ahead, and I've cut mat layers for these. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put these two on, but not those two yet. Now, before we put our other mat layers on, I'm going to take my acetate piece, and I'm going to decorate that. So I'm going to set that up here for a second. And this is also from the Bella Luna collection. It's a Stampin' Die, and she's going to go right onto the center of this acetate, hanging down and sort of into free space. Now I cut some of these little like viney leaves. These are also Bella Luna. So just a little die, and I cut it out of dark green, and I'm just going to put those across here at the top so that her swing kind of looks like she's swinging. The swing is from the vines, and to kind of cover up that acetate. I mean, the acetate doesn't really show badly, but just in case. Okay, now this is going to go, and it's going to mount onto the card like this. And then it will close up flat, but pop up. And you want to just position it wherever you want it, wherever you want your girl to be. So I'm going to put it about right there. So I'm just going to put some tape down because I'm going to cover that up anyway, so it doesn't matter. Go on her about right there. And then when I open, she pops right up. And when I close, it'll close completely flat. Okay, so now I can put my other matte pieces, matte and layers there. And then the last thing to do is add my sentiment. I just rounded those corners because on my sentiment, I think that it just looks a little bit softer. And I think I'm going to put it right down here in the inside. There's my gatefold card with my little girl. And I'm going to show you why I did So I have this light, and see, this is why I did the vellum in between, because see, if you put that light behind, look how pretty that looks. And it folds flat. And it's fairly plain on the front, but there's just so much on the inside. Now, if you wanted to decorate the front, you could, but I think that paper is just so pretty that I'm not even going to, because it just pops right open and looks so pretty. Okay, so to make my card, I cut a piece of white cardstock that's 6 by 6, and I just scored it at 3. And then I cut 2 pieces of cardstock. This is from the Bella Luna, Crafter's Companion Bella Luna paper pad. And I just cut 2 strips that are 6 by 3. And then I heat embossed one of the sentiments, you light up the dark. And these are gonna mat on my 6 by 3 card. And this is gonna create the base of the card. And I need to cut my circle in there. And this circle is a 4 3/4 inch circle. And I'm just gonna kind of center it up. And I don't want it centered down here because I want it to kind of, most of my card's gonna be up here. So I'm gonna have a little bit of room on each side. And I just want to get kind of an even amount of space on each side. And then pick however high up you want. But I want it far enough down here that I have room when I glue my circle on, that it'll give it enough support that it'll stand up strongly. So I don't want it, you know, up like that. But I don't want it all the way down here because I've got my sentiment. So we're gonna kind of go about right there. Now when I glue those together, they'll be perfectly lined up, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and glue those on there. Now to create my top circle, I took that same die that I just cut the aperture with, and I took my nesting dies, one size bigger, and I cut out circles, and I cut 2 in white and 2 in that Bella Luna cardstock, and I layered a white and a Bella Luna, and a white and a Bella Luna, and I'm going to put these back to back, but this will give me 4 layers of cardstock for that circle, which gives me a lot more strength. Okay, then I'm going to sandwich a piece of vellum, and this is also from Bella Luna, and I'm just going to sandwich, and this was cut with the larger of the nesting dies, and I'm going to sandwich that vellum in between my 2 circles. Okay, and that's going to give me a nice sturdy top. Now I'm going to build my scene on top. Now for this I used the Bella Luna die set that has like the circle with the clouds, and I used this stamp, and then this is the You Light Up the Dark. That's the stamp that I heat embossed on the front. Okay, so I stamped this stamp and heat embossed with some silver embossing ink on a piece of clear vellum. And then I used my alcohol markers to color on the back, to color in the scene. And I started to color in the sky, and then decided I didn't really like it. So I took just like a piece of paper towel, or kitchen towel, and I put some isopropyl alcohol on it, and I just rubbed, and I was trying to get it off. And what I discovered, which I didn't know, is if you take the isopropyl alcohol, you can just kind of smear it around, and it actually creates this nice sort of faded blue effect. Oh, let me see, get that out of the background. I put it on some white, and you can see it gives this nice sort of muted blue background on there, which I actually really liked. So I didn't know that that would work, but it works great. Now this is going to sit inside, and then I cut this die also out of vellum, and it's going to sit, this is going to sit inside of here. So I need to cut that down with a die, and I found a nesting die, a circle nesting die that's just about the size of that, and so I'm going to cut this vellum with my circle die. Now, anytime you adhere vellum, when you put any kind of adhesive behind it, it's going to show through. And so what I did on this one, I cut it out of vellum, and then I ran it through my Xyron. And now we're just going to attach it onto our card base, the bottom part. And I'm going to attach it just right here with this circle, this bottom circle. And we're done. And it stands up just like that. So pretty. So I have this little bar light. So if you had a tea light behind it, you can see how that looks. Let me actually turn off the lights and see how pretty that is with a light behind it. So anyway, that's my card. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.
So our challenge this month was to make anything we wanted out of the Bella Luna collection. So I am using, for my base, I am choosing this particular piece, and I'm going to make a gatefold card. So it's cut at 10 inches by 6 inches, and I'm going to score it at 2.5, and again at 7.5 to make my gatefold. Let me put that aside. So for the inside, I've chosen the papers from the Bella Luna paper pad. I used the 12 by 12 side. And for the inside, I chose this one, which is 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. So let me go ahead and put some. So let's put this in the middle. And then for the outside, I've the same paper pad, and this is 2 1/4 by 5 3/4, and there's 2 of them. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. Make sure I get it on the right side. Yep, I've done that before. So let's do the other side. Keep forgetting to make sure I'm in camera. So now we're going to put it down on this side. I want to make it even with this one, with the other side. All right, so now for the outside, and I've already pre-cut everything, the bottom layer I cut out of just a basic circle. And then I used this for I cut out to go in the middle, and I colored it with I have some Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils because I didn't want to use any markers. I thought that would make it too, the colors wouldn't be right. So it's the same piece of paper that's on this side. I just cut out this side, and I'm going to attach this here. And now I just need to make sure I attach it just to one side. So now I just want to put it on one side. So I'm going to start about there. And I'm going to attach it. I hate covering up the paper because I think the paper is so pretty, but so I've also got another die that I use to cut out to the moon and back because that's part of this collection. And because this has the sailboat down here and I wanted to have the same thing here, I decided to attach it up at the top instead of down at the bottom because I didn't want to cover up the boat. But, so there we go. We have our card to the moon and back. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.